Stephen Akintayo, an inspirational speaker and serial entrepreneur, is currently the Chief Executive Officer of Stephen Akintayo Consulting International, GTEX Group, and Investments Limited, a leading firm in Nigeria, Africa, whose services span from digital marketing, website design, online advertising, media, e-commerce, real estate, consulting, and a host of other services. He is a graduate of microbiology from Olabisi Onabanjo University, Ogun State, Nigeria, Africa. While in 5th year, he started a student trade fair on his campus. He studied digital marketing consultancy at the Digital Marketing Institute in Harvard University. His company has hundreds of multinational organizations as clients, like Guarantee Trust Bank, PZ Cussons, MTN, Chivita, amongst others.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, with a round of applause and a standing ovation, let us put our hands together for Dr. Stephen Akintayo.
I thought we were doing that for Jesus. Come on, give it up for the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the I am that I am. Come on! Are we not young people here? Please have your seats. How many of us love that speech by the VC and, of course, read by the Dean? Can we put our hands together for her? Well done. Good. And it's amazing that you guys are the luckiest students in the world. And I mean that, and I'm not trying to patronize you in any way. The school I went to, they don't do things like this. Okay? I went to OSU, they don't do things like this. That there is intentional effort to bring people who are doing well to come and share with you. We never had that luxury. Never. We never had that luxury. So you guys are really, really privileged. And you cannot afford to do anything small. Isn't it? What's your slogan again? Come on. Come on, one more time. Big things only. Early millionaires. Big things only. Absolutely. And I want to also celebrate Bolu. Amazing. I didn't know he's a student. You know, I mean, when I was asking him, he's a lecturer, he says he's a student. Oh my God. Please put your hands together for him one more time. That's inspiring. I'm also here with my executive assistant, Mr. Joshua Olulana. Please put your hands together for him. He's been working with me since he left Babcock. And amazing guy, amazing guy. Today, he's closer to a lot of my wealthy friends than I am. So I call him the billionaire in the making. So let me celebrate him one more time. So my name is Stephen Akintayo. We started our company about 15 years ago. In fact, tomorrow is our 15th anniversary. Yes. And we started with 1,000 Nigerian naira. Yes, you won't believe that. It was a bulk SMS company. And we started on campus in OSU. And we used to sell bulk SMS. I didn't even have money to have my own laptop. I didn't have money to have my own website. So a particular fellowship on campus gave me 700 naira. I added 300 to it. I went to a cyber cafe. Any one of you know cyber cafe? Okay, you still have it here. Oh, okay, that's probably why you know. I'm sure outside here, I'm not sure they do cyber cafes anymore. So went to the cyber cafe, created an account from a bulk SMS website, and I sent. And before you know it, 2 clients, 3 clients, 4 clients. I had enough money to build my own website. Later started building websites for people. And by 2015, we're one of the biggest in the whole of the country. In fact, at that point, we started having multinationals as our clients. And 2015, we moved into real estate. Different story, right? This was our first estate. Can you look at the faces of my staff as I was showing them the land in Ikorodu? You know, you can see they are wondering something's wrong with our guy here. Like, this doesn't make sense. But the same person, this is our first property in Dubai, and that's how it's going to look like when we complete it. 180 unit of 2-bedroom. So we're not just building cities in Nigeria, we're doing that in Dubai, we're doing that in UK, we're doing that in US. I thought you were going to celebrate Jesus for that. But if we didn't start small, we will not be where we are today. Does that make sense at all? If we didn't start small. So the first thing I'm going to be sharing with you, I'm going to be sharing with you about 4S, okay, of being able to start this whole journey of becoming a millionaire. I would have said a billionaire, because my book is titled The Billionaire Habit. If you have a copy, let me just have one. Maybe I'll give somebody. Okay? So, for me is, if you're going to start from where you are, and that's what my teaching today, starting from where you are. That's what I'm about to teach you, starting from where you are. And the first thing you need, if you're going to start from where you are, I'm talking about 4S. The first S is serve God. Everybody shout, serve God. Come on, it's not loud enough. It's not loud enough. It's not loud enough. The loudest person will get this book. So who's the loudest? First person to come will get the book. Life is not fair. So let's start the training from there. It's not the first person that starts, it's the first person that finishes. Right? She started coming first, but she needed to be touched. This is CU. We can't afford to run anyhow. But the second person did what? Finished it faster. And it's the same thing with idea. Idea is in the air. It's the first person to execute it that is the owner. Haven't you seen ideas executed and say, that person stole my idea, just that you never met? So there was no way they could have. How many of you have seen something like that? Right? I have a concept of a reality TV show in a private jet, and people will pitch to me. Right? This year I saw somebody doing it, and I was almost like, is there somebody that I know that I've shared it with that I went to tell him? Now, if I execute the same idea, I will almost look like I stole his idea. I said, no, he stole. So, idea is in the air. The first person to execute it is the owner. But you need to know that for you to start from where you are, you need God. And that's why I say serve God. I went to Osu, I pastored Winners Campus Fellowship in Olabisi Onabanjo University. And my real business started from that level. Because I remember the day they handed over to me. We were less than 20. So my first job was to market. Everybody say market. Or you don't know that this gospel that is being preached has to be marketed. Oh, see the way they are looking at me. Who is one of the best marketer of the gospel of Jesus in this country and in the world? Come on, talk to me. Some of you are afraid because you say marketing. Bishop Oyedepo now. And he will market on the streets, under the bridge, even at his age and at his level. So my first job was I needed to market. So 1 week, the first Sunday after I was inaugurated, we moved from 20 people to 176 people. First week. Serving God. But you see, I started learning marketing. In fact, I tell people today that one of the marketing strategies we use in our company is from the evangelism strategy of the church. Right? Operation Come and See. Operation which one? Talk to me now. Meet your targets. All that too, we convert it to our own business. Operation 1 billion, in sales. We have a new challenge we're doing. Operation $100 million in 8 weeks. Operation is operation. But you see, if you don't serve God, a lot of the ideas that will turn you to a millionaire will not come. One of the things I often share with people is that you hear, give and you shall receive. Many times when you give, God won't give you money. He will give you ideas. Let's celebrate Pastor Steve Oga. Okay? So God will give you ideas. He won't give you money. So oftentimes, as I serve God, God started giving me inspired ideas. A lot of the ideas that I execute today came in my toughest years in business, 2012. I lost our office in Ikeja, here in Lagos. So the only job I could do, of course, I was pastoring a zone not too far from Canaan land here. So I faced the job full time. I remember going to do evangelism in some members' house. I'll go and pray for them. And they would start mocking me. In fact, there was one, I prayed with her, I was going, only to turn my back to see her doing like this. Right? But I served God faithfully. Today, I'm enjoying the rewards. As a student on campus, my priority was God. Right? My priority was God. I took pastoring that fellowship as if it was my life. You can ask some of those who went to school with me. Right? I became a CEO on campus. And what was funny was that I had about 5 positions. I was pastoring my fellowship. I was head of, because in Winners, fellowship is under the church. So at the same time, I was pastoring, in charge of the drama unit. At the same time, I was just the joint fellowship again. I was heading a team, and I had 2 businesses I was running. I had a foundation on campus, and I had a business. I started organizing trade fairs. I started selling books. I started hawking electronics. I had a popcorn business, all on campus. So today, where God has taken me to was as a result of serving. Because as I was serving, I was learning how to also execute those strategies I was using in the things of God in my business. Are you learning at all? Come on, talk to me. Are you learning? Number 2 is you need to save, right? It's important to understand the power of savings. This was when we had our first baby. Please, let me project it on the screen. And it was not far. The bells, not far there. And you can see how I look. Okay? Well, this was December, Christmas. I live in Burj Khalifa today. Right? The tallest building in the world. When we had our first child, I remember how all I had was 18,000 naira for naming. And again, because I was, minister in charge of our zone in the Bells, the welfare woman came to me and said, Pastor, what do we do? How do you do naming? I said, I won't be the one to start this history of low-key naming. Bishop did Zobo and cabin biscuits. What God has given me as of today is what? Is 18,000. Whatever it can do, you do. And that was us. But the story has changed today. It's important that young people know that things takes time. TTT. Everybody say TTT. Come on, shout it. I need it louder. No, it's not loud enough. Things takes time. Right? I love your slogan, early millionaires, big things only. But if you must pick any lesson from me today, you can do big things, but they must start small. They must start small. And that's what has been laid in my heart, to just keep showing you images. And I'll keep showing you images of where I was and where I am today. Because if we don't balance that conversation, a lot of people get into depression. You see people thinking, maybe I've missed it. No, there is a phase that you're doing everything right, but things won't grow yet. And here's the lesson here. Number 2S that you must learn is savings. Everybody says savings. While we're here in the bells was when we started buying land. When they, rented if I remember when we opened our Ikeja office, I put in over 2 million to open an office, yet I rented a 200,000 naira house. And I will be taking Molue, I didn't have a car, from the bells to Ikeja. I had days that I didn't have 200 naira to take Molue back. So I sleep in my office and then mosquito will design my body. But I started investing small at that level. Right? I could have afforded to live in Ikeja at that time. But I understood the concept of your saving is actually what you pay yourself first. When you save, you are paying yourself first. Because there are several bills that will keep coming. Right? Every day, there are bills coming your way. And some of you who are in private university like this are much fortunate. Because even your allowance, if you really save it well, in your 4 or 5 years, you're already a millionaire. Do you agree with me? Come on, talk to me. You're already a millionaire if you save it well. Because the beginning of investment starts with savings. That's where it starts from. Everybody wants to have big investment. But if you do not save, the day opportunities come, you won't be able to take advantage of them. So it begins with your savings. Your savings culture is a must. We're in a commission that is big on savings. You heard God's servant always share about how more than, is it 70% of the ark, the money was ready before construction started. Savings. I'm very sure if not for savings, they wouldn't have been able to build CU. Savings. So this whole, I want to be a millionaire, it begins with saving. Of course, you will need to learn from Bolu about trade with Bolu and all that. But you need to save something first now, right? That you then trade, isn't it, to something bigger. So learn the art of savings. Number 3, very important principle that I want to share. Remember, what was number 1? Serve God, isn't it? Number 2? Number 3 is service and product. I've had to share this with a lot of Christians. I wish prayer and fasting will make you a millionaire, but unfortunately, no. It will not. Right? I wish so. I've said the same thing. I must give, I must tithe. Absolutely, you should. I'm here because of those principles. But what you do with your 90% is very crucial. If you tithe from now till tomorrow, you give from now to tomorrow, but you do not understand how to produce a product, a service, so that the windows of heaven will what? Bless that works of your hand. So I see many Christians having billions being released from heaven, but waiting for products and services to channel it into your account. I've always shared this story about one day we were done with 21-day prayer and fasting. The youth pastor here in Canada said, I felt led that we should all empty our account to Bishop. This was many years ago. How much did I have? 25,000 naira. That's all I had. Heaven and earth. Okay? Put it in the envelope, and then during offering, dropped it there. Monday, and that was the beginning of my turnaround. I got a call. We want to do bulk SMS, 30 million. I thought it was a joke because the voice of the person was like a baby. Yeah, it was literally like a baby. So you won't believe 30 million. The highest transaction as at that time was maybe 1 million or 500,000. 30 million, like that. Tuesday, 30 million hit my account. GT Bank froze the account. Come and explain this money. You have never seen this kind of money before, so yeah, come and explain. And that was the beginning of the turnaround that you see today. So giving works. It's powerful. It works. But if I did not have a product, how will the 30 million come, ladies and gentlemen? Will it fall down from heaven? So you need to have a product and service. Let me tell you this. It's a crime for you to be in CU and not have a product and service. It's a crime. Because you have a market of over 3,000 people. What's the population of CU? 7,000 people. That is money flying up and down. That's money. There must be a product and a service that you can sell if you are serious about being a millionaire. A young man from CU, Isaac, he lives in my house, started Waffles. Maybe he's still here. I don't know if you know Waffles. What's his company name, sir? Isaac. Waffles Dom. How many waffles do we have? Companies do we have? I thought it's the only one. Oh, you have two now. Competition. We'll talk about that later. Right? And when Isaac started this waffle, I told him, you can turn this thing to a whole franchise. Right? This can be big thing for you. Because all this, I'll get a job. There's no job out there anymore. When CU started, companies, you remember now, banks, they are ready to snatch everybody graduating, isn't it? But today, the jobs are, even the banks are not paying like they used to. So you have to sit down here and say, how can I come up with a product and a service while I'm on campus? While on campus, I hawked electronics. While on campus, I sold popcorn. While on campus, I sold both physical books and e-books. I organized trade fair on my own campus, even in this CU. I used to bring a lot of people to come and do your trade fair. Come and do trade fair here. Let me tell you this, very important. If you hate selling, you have written formal letter to poverty. Right? And it's my quote, write it down. If you hate selling, you have what? Written formal letter to what? To poverty. Everybody that is great is selling something. Ronaldo is not the best football player, but he's the best marketer of the football itself. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. Ronaldo understands how to turn himself to a brand. Maybe until recently, I'm very sure they used to pay Ronaldo more than Messi. I know some of you like Messi. But I'm telling you just from brand perspective. Because you are not just a businessman, you are the business. And you must understand the concept of branding. One of the things that the Jew has done is to be able to market the gospel of Jesus in its simplicity that you can see the millions coming to Jesus through him. Am I making sense at all? But it is still marketing, nonetheless. We say our Father in the faith. Go everywhere, preaching the gospel of Jesus. It is marketing still. And using all manner of methods. Flyers, one-on-one word of mouth, referral. If you're a church member of Winners Chapel, you are the referral. Isn't it? Bring them. Compel them to come. Command them. Oh, you guys are not feeling me. Are you here? Hey. So the same model, if I tell a lot of, that if you are a member of Winners Chapel and your business is struggling, you need to check very well. Because if you just turn the same evangelism principle to your business for marketing, you will explode. Just put it. The same principle. So you must have a product and service if you want to be a millionaire. You must have that. And you must learn how to market it. Number 4, S, sacrifice. Everybody say sacrifice. Come on, make it louder. The first picture here is me. I just got back on, was it Wednesday? Wednesday, from the airport straight to our Omole office had a staff meeting. From there, straight to site after 11 hours of flight. There is no millions for a lazy man. If you make it through shortcut, you will still lose it. You must understand that anyone that is doing well legitimately had to sacrifice to get there. Luke 9:24 says, "For whosoever will save his life shall what? Shall lose it. But whosoever will lose his life for my sake, the same shall be what? Shall be saved." For you to really succeed is like losing your life. For you to go far in any enterprise is like losing your own life. There is a lot of sacrifice. Forget what we put on social media. The behind the scene, before coming here, because I came very early, around 8:15, right? I have gone to Aton, one of our side there, just this morning. It was raining, if I'm wet still. The behind the scene is no joke. You must sacrifice. And I've listed a couple of things that you must sacrifice. Number one, sacrifice pleasure for the pressure of reading and learning. Right? Sometimes people just want to enjoy, let's just pleasure, fun. But in each phase of your life, get under the pressure of reading and learning. Just soak it all in. But it's going to be sacrifice. It's not going to be easy. But I promise you to turn your life around. Sacrifice of looking rich. Sacrifice looking rich. Right? Or looking good for actually working your way to becoming wealthy. We're in a day and age now where people prefer to look rich than actually being rich. I hope you know that. Let me just look it. Perception. You have to sacrifice looking rich and then focus on actually being rich. I wish I was able to get, one of the pictures I wanted to show you was a picture of me on campus. I looked tattered. I was always on palm slippers that had been patched. My shoe had been patched. Everybody knows my clothes. I practically had two clothes, two trousers and maybe five shirts. And it wasn't because I wasn't earning something. But I would have used it to buy books, go for seminars, come back, they say, they've deceived you, all these people, all these motivational speakers. They cannot even pity that you're a student. They've collected your money. And my colleagues will mock me. That mockery, like Bishop will say, has turned to my making today. Right? If you want to clap well. You will lead them. Right? So it's important to understand that. So you need to focus on actually being rich, not to look like it. Do you know that a lot of your colleagues, if you ask them what you wore yesterday, they can't remember? Save that money and actually invest it. Learn. Build something. If you start buying Tesla shares, now you can buy fractional shares. Do you know that? Of Amazon, of all these big companies. You can start $50. You are buying fractional shares. Instead of buying 2 more shirts, 2 more shoes. I often say this, poor people buy what they don't need to impress people that don't care. Don't join them. Can I say that again? Poor people do what? Buy what they don't need to what? To impress people that do not what? Do you want to do that? Number C, still under sacrifice. Sacrifice playtime for pay time. This is your time to pay your dues. Pay what it requires to add what to your life and to your name. Add meaning. Add meaning. Add meaning. Let your name stand for something. Add what? Add what? So pay today so that you can play tomorrow. Play today so that you can what? Pay tomorrow. So this is your time to pay. So sacrifice the play. Sacrifice it. Let's play. No, I want to focus. Because there will be enough time to play. Right? In fact, if you are not careful, the play will be too much. I went on the fastest roller coaster with my children. last month. Oh, Jesus. Yas Island, Ferrari World. By the time we came out, my eye was turning. I said, this play is doing me jetty now. It's too much. So you can play now, but pay today. Tell your neighbor, pay today, pay today. Come on. Tell them, pay today, pay today. D, sacrifice starting big for starting small. Sacrifice. Sometimes you may even afford to start, but start small. Because there's so much you will learn. There's so much you will be able to perfect. Right? There's so much mistakes you will make in your early days if you start small. Right? If you start small. But if you start too big, then you're in trouble. Next year, we're going to be expanding our operations big time in the U.S. We probably will end 2024 with not less than at least 60 to 70 staff in the U.S. operations alone. But we've been knocking at the U.S., doing one or two things since 2015. I think I even met Pastor Steve 2015 in the U.S. Sacrifice starting big. For what? For starting small. Starting small. Yes, you can afford the big things, but start small. I know that we're in this age, everybody wants to show it, want to blow. But if you blow, have you not scattered? Right? What's left? When you blow, you see all this blow, let's blow. Right? You've scattered already. Tell your neighbor again, start small, start small. Think big, grow fast. Come on, say it louder. Start small, think big, and grow fast. E, sacrifice comfort for serving others. A lot of time people don't know that entrepreneurship is about service. Most of us you call successful entrepreneurs today, we were serving people. We learn how to serve. Business is about serving. What we do in real estate is more of serving investors, protecting their interest. I tell people, they say Elon Musk, we read about Elon Musk, the dean read to us about Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and they said they are the richest people in the world. That money they call $200 billion, $300 billion, you know what it means? It's a proof of the confidence that people have in them. Nobody really has money. Nobody came with money. When you are rich, people trusted you with their hard-earned resources as a function of what they have seen in you. Does that make sense at all? So it's important to know that you have to master the art of service, the art of serving people. What is the difference between an ordinary product and a luxury product? Can I get one of my books? I want to give somebody who can answer that question. What's the difference? A luxury product and just a normal product. What's the difference? Okay, like a normal wristwatch versus Rolex. What's the difference? Normal wristwatch versus Jacob & Co. Branding. Beautiful. What else? Eh? Quality. Who is bold enough to come and share his or her own value? That's what others have said. Bold enough. Come out. Yes.
Okay. The difference between a normal wristwatch and a Rolex wristwatch is the quality of the wristwatch.
Someone has said that.
That's what I said.
Another point.
Okay. Branding.
Another point. They've said that.
Rich people want to buy the Rolex wristwatch because they feel like it serves them more, and then the Rolex company has worked so hard to push their company out there.
Let me give her. She has tried. Remember, she was supposed to win the first book. Eh? Goodwill. Value. Yes. Thank you. Clap for them. Let me clap for them. Good job. Well done. The answer I'm looking for is actually customer service. Exceptional customer service. Exceptional. The Rolex wristwatch is the same plant in China they are doing it to. I hope you know. And when you get the China version that was made from the same factory, the price difference is huge. So the difference is when you enter Rolex office or shop or experience center, the honor, the way they treat you, the feel. So the difference between a normal product and a luxury service is exceptional service. Exceptional. The difference between a 1-star hotel, a 2-star hotel, and a 7-star hotel. Right? I've stayed many times in Burj Al Arab called the 7-star hotel. It's the normal hotel. The difference is the service. They will boast that if you need anything, in tickle of an eye, somebody is responding to you. Almost like a customized, a chauffeur experience. Are we learning at all? As we begin to round up, are we learning? So, service is how you move to the next level. Business is about serving people. The rare your valuable services, the more money you earn. So think about it. So everybody is selling something. How can I make it unique here in CU? Right? What extra service can I offer them? You have a market of 7,000 people. Aside the lecturers, aside other people who stay here, start thinking. That's money. I have a quote I always share with people. People equals money. I want everybody to shout it. Louder. Come on, it's not loud enough. People equal money. So anywhere there are people, there's money. Just think of exceptional service. So sacrifice comfort for serving other people. Instead of you just being comfortable, can I sacrifice my own comfort and serve people and get money in exchange for it? Next, number G, sacrifice office for street. Money is no longer in the AC. If God's servant can be going to the bridge to be preaching, you are sitting down there AC. The money is in the street. I was in London 3 weeks ago for my book signing, and my friend took me out to wash his car, and we came under this bridge, and this particular car wash, you would think you are in Nigeria, taking 20 pounds to wash cars. The guy would bring some guys from Europe to come and work for him. And what was shocking was a car that I saw. And my friend said to me, he said, that's the owner's car. This is like a 2023 latest BMW car. Owner of a car wash. And I'm talking of under the bridge car wash in London. He's making more money, are we together now, than the so-called, as a matter of fact, in it does not pay anymore. Roll off your sleeves, right? The jobs that are paying well now. Look at what happened with Hilda. Some of you, you don't know what your parents suffer to send you to see you. They say, my mom is just a what do you call her? A cook. You can't even touch the name. It's a street side cook. But that street side cook sent you to see you. Take it to the next level. That's what Hilda has done. The mom was a cook, struggling in Abuja, sent her to a good school, but has taken that business to Guinness Book of Record. I see somebody doing that here. There's just no point. Your dad is a tailor. Start a fashion design business. Correct one. Package it well. Use the exposure you've gotten in CU to take it to the next level. Sacrifice office for streets. Everybody shout it. Go to the streets and make money. The money is no longer in the offices. It's in the streets. So go there. I've seen young people who will rather earn less in a bank, right? just because there's office, there's this, right? Than other jobs like marketing. Sacrifice paid job for apprenticeship. You want to be an entrepreneur, you are leaving school, go and look for somebody to serve. One of my mentors is Cosmos Maduka. And I remember the last time we were talking, and he said something powerful to me of how those under him who came as an apprentice. So when they were about leaving, he called them and said, guys, you can also leave me now and go and bake your own cake. Or you can remain here and we bake a bigger cake together. And you are co-owners. Today, that's a multi-billion-dollar company. But a lot of those young guys who are apprentices are co-owners with him today. Apprenticeship pays. I understand your parents spend millions to send you to school. But when you leave school, you have option between, right, getting so-called, blue chip job, particularly those of you who want to become entrepreneurs, versus go and look for somebody who is succeeding and work for them and learn and be an apprentice. How many of you have heard of John D. Rockefeller? Right? Good. There's so much that John D. learned from his father, even though the father was a con man. But he then, being that he had a spiritual background, right, was now truthful in his own approach. And he took the business to the next level. His son, most people don't know that the reason we know John D. Rockefeller today was because of John D. Rockefeller Jr. Because the son was the one that rebranded the father's name. He was the most hated man in America, the same John D. Rockefeller you're hearing, in his days. Because there was so much Great Depression in America, and this man was stupendously rich. So the son came about, started the foundation, rebranded the whole thing, and people started seeing them as givers. Are we learning at all? So apprenticeship. J.P. Morgan, how many of you know J.P. Morgan? Same thing. J.P. Morgan's father started investment banking. And J.P. Morgan went down history as the singular Federal Reserve. The person who started the whole concept of Federal Reserve Bank in America started with J.P. Morgan. When the country is in recession, they call J.P. Morgan and say, okay, come up with strategy to bail this sector out. One man. But those people all evolved through apprenticeship. They serve other people. They learn from some people. They sat down learning. So sacrifice paid job for apprenticeship. Tell your parents so. Some of them will tell you, oh, my daughter is in US. Tell mommy, daddy, I am going somewhere. At this phase of my life, I want to serve. Are you listening to me now? I want to gain, and I promise you I'll become great. But at this phase, let me learn. Let me serve. And one day I will stand on my own. Some of the things that Joshua is here, my assistant, some of the things that he knows today, he's almost 20 years ahead of his mate. Almost. Right? Joshua is closer to Dr. Cosmos Maduka than I am. And he's my PA. They talk more like friends. Because he had the opportunity to work, to serve as an apprentice. So by the time, maybe, who knows, some years later he wants to go and start his business, he cannot operate like everybody else. I'm making sense at all. There are people he will call, billionaires that he will call on phone and say, I've left my boss. There was no fight. You can ask him. This is my vision. Would they not support him? So be an apprentice. Have you gotten value today? Come on, have you gotten value today? Sacrifice shortcut for steady motion. Sacrifice shortcut for steady motion. Last time I was with Bishop Abiri and we were talking, and I will never forget what he said to me. He said, I understand the pressure, to expand your business and need for loan. He Said, but if you move at your pace, you will not lose your place. Powerful statement. That's why you need to sit down with elders and learn. I will never forget that statement till I die. He said, there are other of your colleagues who are doing this business who have taken loan, and they're under heavy pressure. If you move at your pace, you will not lose your place. Sacrifice shortcut for steady motion. Everybody shout it. Sacrifice shortcut for steady motion. One more time. Sacrifice shortcut for steady motion. Move at your pace so you don't lose your place. It's important to know that this journey of entrepreneurship is not a 100-meter. Are we together now? It's not what? It's not a 100-meter. It's a marathon race. So calm down. Build it block by block. There are 3 levels to every business, and it's important to share that. Number 1 is the starting phase. And what happened here is like a Chinese bamboo. You will plant the thing, you are putting water, nobody will see it. In my starting phase, most people don't know me, right? And they don't even know anything. But I was planting. I was growing it. Number 2 is the growing phase. Now it begins to make sense. I always put it this way. Starting phase is 1 + 1 equals to -2. Does that make sense? Growing phase, 1 + 1 equals to 2, sometimes equals to 3, sometimes equals to 1. Right? It's growing. Then we have the exponential phase. Now, exponential phase is 1 + 1 equals to 1,000. You can't explain it anymore. And every business, every ministry had the same experience, including Winners Chapel. How many of you know Winners Chapel 1986? No, even if you were born, for our lecturers who are here, right? How many? Okay, let's bring it closer. Even 1995, how many of you know Winners Chapel? 1995. Am I making sense at all? But by the time the commission moved to Canaan land, it was exponential. Exponential growth. So you will hear God's servant talk about how almost 20 years, how many churches, right? Then in 1 year, you plant churches that you have done in 30-something years. Exponential. You can't explain it anymore. And every business must go through these stages. So tell your neighbor, relax. You are in your starting phase. It will still speak. Come on, tell your neighbor, relax. You are in your starting phase. It will still speak. So many young people give up on their business ideas, give up on the business they are starting just because they are in the starting phase. And they're saying, but see that person. You see, they that compare themselves with themselves are but a what? But a fool. You don't come from the same background. You don't come from the same background. You don't come from the same... a lot of us have leverage. Some people are from wealthy homes. They got some support to move faster. But don't worry. You that you are from Paco home like you and I, time is coming. Your star will shine. Can I hear a louder amen? A louder amen. Finally, sacrifice unforgiveness for forgiveness. If you're going to go far, right, forgiveness is a requirement for greatness. Unforgiveness is too much burden. Too much burden. Too much burden. Dr. Cosmos Nanduka was sharing with me how a man took $200 million. Everybody say $200 million. Because remember, you're a Christian. You can't do business the way everybody's doing it. And he guaranteed for this man. And then $200 million disappear. By the way, you can convert it to Naira so that you understand the gravity of what we are talking about. $200 million gone. Gone. And he was now to pay. One day he said, He just signed the papers and said, I will start paying. Sold all his bank shares, did so much. At the point he now tried to even get the money back from the man wouldn't give. Some of you know the story. You can Google it, you know the story. But here's the funny thing about this story. He said, one day, I said, I'm a Christian. I have to forgive this man. So I went to his house. I said, I heard you. They said you use juju. Oh, yeah, bring food now. Let me eat your food. Let's see whether I will die. The man that took $200 million. Right? Today, now, he forgave the man. Moved on. That could have killed him if he refused to forgive. Because the bitterness, the pain, the anger. If you will go far, you must live in forgiveness. I tell people, I learned that from Bishop. I practice advanced forgiveness. When you come into my life, I've already calculated the offenses you will do. And I'm forgiving in advance. Okay? I am. Because I cannot go to hell because I'm putting one person in my heart. No, I've suffered too much. And I've also now enjoyed too much that I don't want suffering again. So carry your Allah and go. Have you learned something today? Yes, is it worth it? Yes, are you sure? Yes, so I have this offer for you guys. I've written something called the Billionaire Series. I just finished my tour in UK and the US. So we have the Billionaire Habits, the Billionaire Code. If you see the Billionaire Code from Robert Kiyosaki, John Maxwell, Les Brown, everybody had a write-up about the book, right, on the cover, in terms of what they have seen about the book. So if you want the books, they are available for you today. How many copies do you have? How many copies? 12 copies. How many? So we only have one house, please. Hello? We only have 10 copies each of the books. We only have 10 copies each. So we will not be able to, the book can't go around, right? However, there is the digital copy as well. So you can just use the code CU offer and you'll be able to get it. But the code ends by 1 p.m. today, and the code is over. Yes. It's important to know that there is no way any man can teach you what they've learned in 15 years in 2 hours. Are we together now? There's no way. One of the statements somebody said to me, I can't remember the person. He said he met Bishop, and Bishop said, I think it was even Bishop that said it. I can't give you more than 2 hours of my time. Go and read everything in the book. Right? I didn't understand how powerful that statement is until today. With due respect, a lot of people want mentorship, but it's difficult to mentor today. So there are 2 platforms I've done. My books and something we call the Stephen Akintayo University. It contains over 2,000 books. So complimentary for everyone getting the book, you will get 1 month access to Stephen Akintayo University for free. Are you happy about that? And in the Stephen Akintayo University, guess whose courses is there? My, Robert Kiyosaki, Cosmos Baduka. I'm not talking of online content. The session we had together. Grant Cardone, Les Brown, Brian Tracy, who else? Right? Name it. John Maxwell. All of them. Right? I've been host. In fact, it cost us almost $1 million in terms of speaking fees that will pay some of these people to put that platform together. I want to encourage you to consume them. Please consume them. Consume them. I was on campus when I bought every of Bishop Oyedepo's books. Every MP3. Everything. I will buy. And then consume. Not just buy. Consume it. God bless you.